All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have 12.3 statistics and parameters. This is getting into more intense types of statistics instead of the stuff that we've already learned from previous classes. So we have a ton of vocabulary words to help us out. Last time we talked about summarizing and organizing our survey results. This time we're going to be talking about how to analyze and use statistics to help us make the data make sense. So let's get going with our vocabulary words. Make sure that you write these things down and understand what they all mean. If you need to pause it, pause it. Here's more vocabulary words. These will be things that we need to be able to find on this page. How to find those things. All right, let's get started. So our first step is to identify the sample and the population for the situation. Then we're supposed to describe the sample statistic and the population parameter. So a movie rental business selects a random sample of 50 orders in one day. The median number of rentals per order is calculated. So when we identify those four things, we're going to use the information that was provided here. So the sample would be all 50 movies that were ordered from that one day, and the population would be all of the movies for the entire day. So sample is only the 50, and the population would be all of them. The sample statistic would be the median number. It gives us what it's using for its statistic. And the population parameter would be the median for all rentals. So median, the sample statistic would be the median of the sample. Population parameter is the median of all rentals for that day. All right, same kind of a process. Your job is to find what is the population parameter of this survey. This is your multiple choice question. Make sure that you understand those vocabulary words. You might need to use them and go back to what you wrote down from the beginning of this. Range, quartiles, and interquartile ranges. If you already know what those words mean, make sure you write down when they are best used. And the description, if you do not know what they mean, make sure you write those things down because you will need to use these things from time to time. We're going to start with finding the mean absolute deviation. Our job is to find step 1, the mean, step 2, the sum of the absolute values of the differences between each value, and step 3, divide by the number of values. So we're going to do this right now for our very first time. So find the mean. Our job is to, again, find mean, to just add them up and divide by the number of numbers. So 6 plus 8 plus 10 plus 4 plus 5 plus 9 into my calculator, divided by these 6 numbers, which is a 7. I'm just going to double check to make sure I didn't have fat finger syndrome. 6 plus 8 plus 10 plus 4 plus 5 plus 9, divided by the 6 numbers. And I got the same thing twice, so I know I'm correct. So my mean is 7. To find the sum of the absolute values of the differences, I'm going to take absolute value of 6 minus 7 plus the absolute value of 8 minus 7 plus the absolute value of 10 minus 7 plus the absolute value of 4 minus 7 plus the absolute value of 5 minus 7. That's a 7. And plus the absolute value of a 9 minus 7. Sorry, I'm crunching it in there. So we have, this is a 1 plus a 1 plus a 3 plus a 3 plus a 2 plus a 2. So 1 plus 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2. This is 2 plus 6, which is 8. 8 plus 4, which is 12. So the total of that was 12. And then we can divide by the total number in step 3 here, which was 6. And that's why our answer is 2. That was supposed to be written as a 2, letter D. So that is your mean absolute deviation process. Make sure you understand how to do that, as you will need to be able to do that for your assignment. To find the variance in the standard deviation, this process is used. So make sure you write down step by step how to do this, because we are going to get started. So finding the mean. Again, to find the mean, you just add up the numbers and divide by the number of numbers. So our mean, which is this symbol right here, X with like a long vowel symbol on top, is our process here, and the mean is 10. So we will use this again to find the variance. So similar to the other process, we're going to square this instead of trying to do the absolute value. So 5 minus, this isn't 7, it was 10. 5 minus 10 squared plus a 7 minus 10 squared plus a 8 minus 10 squared plus a 14 minus 10 squared plus a 16 minus 10 squared. So this is finding the variance. So 5 minus 10 is 5. 5 squared is 25. 7 minus 10 is -3. -3 squared is 9. -2 squared is 4. 4 squared is 16. That's a 10. So this is a 6 squared, which is 36. I'm going to add up all of these numbers and divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when I add them up,
Miss Bartholomew, please call 6406.
And divide by 5. So 25 plus 9 plus 4 plus 16 plus 36 is 90. 90 divided by that 5 is our answer of 18. So that's my variance. Now when I'm trying to find my standard deviation, I'm going to use my variance. And my variance has this symbol. So my standard deviation is going to be just taking the square root of both of these numbers. When I take the square root of these, the square root of 18 is going to be this cute symbol for standard deviation, which means my standard deviation is going to be a 4.2. So when I answer all three of those, the mean is 10, the variance is 18, and the standard deviation is approximately 4.2 when I round to the nearest tenth. So I need to find all three of those. That's the process, folks. If you need to pause and look back at it, please do, and we can answer any questions that you need. Tomorrow, this is your open response question. See if you can figure it out on your own, and we are wishing you the best of luck.